Starting the music without starting the show.
God, Larry, what are you doing?
Nah, I know what I'm doing. 70 episodes.
I trust you.
70 episodes.
Turn me up to 93.
Oh, I turned you down to 73.
Oh.
It's too hot and it's too loud. Hi, and welcome back once again to Seattle's #1 comic book podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic. I'm Larry.
I'm James.
Episode 70, James.
Yep, that's what it is.
Lumberjanes. I am excited.
Lumberjanes.
Well, I want to say I'm excited about this.
Confused with Lumberjames.
Different
which is
comic.
A new comic that'll be coming out that I'll write about me.
All about what will your comic be about? Will you be camping in the woods with all your best friends? Girl power?
No, I'll be more of a Paul Bunyan type figure.
Alone.
Yeah, racing against the machine.
Oh, that's cool. That would be a cool comic. I'd read that. The Lumberjanes tonight, episode 70. So, but before we dive into all of that, always spoiler alert for new listeners. This is a review show, and we talk about comic books, specifically the first issue. And good comics, always good comics. We try to pick the best ones and hopefully get you hooked on your next favorite comic. That's what our show's about. So, James, but always on the first Thursday of each month.
Yeah, we have a tradition. We've skipped a few on accident.
We have skipped a few on accident.
They're very fun when Larry can come up with a good one.
Right, and I think I got a good one tonight. And we have actually read the first issue of this particular artist co-creator comic, and I think we both enjoyed it. It was a horror book called American Vampire, and the artist that we're going to be talking about tonight in our fun art walk.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tradition here in Seattle. We run down to the galleries every first Thursday of the month.
Oh, of course, Larry.
And walk through the galleries. And tonight we're going to walk into Raphael Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
He is a Brazilian artist who is most known. He's won a... I'm going to get to his Wikipedia page. And I'm going to share pages of this on our site. We'll link to it on our site at at sn1cbp.com. So this is Raphael Albuquerque, and if you don't know American Vampire, he is, like I said, like a co-creator of American Vampire, and the story on American Vampire is, just that, American new strain of vampires.
It's a very effective title.
But the art speaks volumes inside of that comic book. Everything he does, like if you go to his covers gallery, and I'm trying to, at raphaelalbuquerque.com/work, and you look at his stuff, it is amazeballs.
Yeah.
It is really awesome. He has like a sinister style. His teeth, even on the good guys, look bad.
That's an interesting quality. I wouldn't have looked for the teeth.
And I wish that I knew more, and I'm gonna get to know more, but he has a miscellaneous covers gallery, and then inside of this same his personal website, he has personal work, and he did a I don't know if you remember. Well, of course you remember. It was my favorite. Well, I remember it. My favorite comic from last year's Oneies was Sweet Tooth, and he does a Gus. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, interesting.
It is so cute. He's eating a little chocolate bar, and he's got a funky.
Because that first issue cover is pretty iconic. Like I can picture it in my mind better than almost any comic cover I've seen in them.
Well, that wasn't his work. That's Jeff Lemire, but he does his own.
That character doing his own version of that, like it's It's a big one to do.
Yeah, it's a big one. He's got a sketchy style, so it looks a little. Sometimes you might even think it was rushed, but it's not. It looks like he lovingly like splashes on the washes and the art is, or the sketch of it all just really sings. So come to our webpage, come to our website, sn1cbp.com, and check out Raphael Albuquerque's art. And if you want to know how to spell his name, it is spelled Albuquerque. Not like Albuquerque the town or the city. So
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, this is a good one. I really
Your autocorrect will want to fix it for you. Don't let it do it. All right.
All right.
So are we also doing a recent and decent?
You know, I'm not prepared to do a recent and decent. James, have you read any recent comics?
Recent ones. No, I have read a couple older ones, but that doesn't count.
Well, a bunch of new comics came out yesterday, and I was happy to download a few new titles. And I might talk about them next week. Stray Bullets number 26 came out yesterday, and I haven't read it yet, but the cover is always juicy.
Okay, that's a good tease. Wait, but that's not a... Oh, okay, never mind.
That's it. It'll be recent and decent next week. I promise you.
All right. It won't... Yeah, I was going to say, it's not... You don't make these the day before?
Well...
How recent is recent and decent? We've never really narrowed that down before, I guess.
Oh, you're good. Well, I think if I didn't talk about it, I think a month.
A month? Okay, that's pretty recent.
Yeah. So...
Like if you had a new baby and it was a month old, you'd be like, wow, that's a really young baby.
You can be a newlywed.
Brand new.
I think you're a newlywed for 2 years. I think that's that's a thing. So, you go.
That's way longer than I would have given that. 2 years?
I think that's true.
Huh, well,
I don't know where I read that.
I trust you.
Well, I might have made it up. So, what do you think?
Nope, that is law now. There, I said it.
Well, I wonder what the Lumberjanes would say about recent and decent.
Yeah, well, so let's get right into it, Lumberjanes.
James, did you go to camp when you were a kid?
Not really. Not like a sleepover camp.
We had 6th grade camp where we went up and...
Oh, okay. Now that you mention it, in 6th grade, yeah, there was one through the school for like a week.
Yeah, we stayed in cabins for a week.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually. I forgot about that.
It was very
Shout out Wally Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of my...
He was in my crew.
I think it was Roanoke.
4 of us were.
Roanoke was the name of my cabin.
Oh, man, you're good. Oh, ours were named after I think we were Tundra, because it was named after, the biomes. Man, how did I think of that? I don't need to have that in my mind for so long. It's not as valuable as other things could be.
And I'm going to tell you right now that I have the Up All Night badge, for sure.
There you go. That's an important one.
So,
all right.
Get us into this, James.
So, when I first just saw the cover, I'm trying to, now that I've seen enough, like that there's ever enough, but I'm starting to see like artists who look like other artists a little bit. And so I've been trying to see if I could ever be like, oh, this kind of reminds me of that. And when I saw this cover, the art, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Adventure Time.
Exactly.
Did you ever see that, Larry?
Yeah. And that was actually turned into a comic as well.
Yeah, okay. So I thought that when I saw the cover, just the art, and then when I got inside and started reading it, I'm like, this reads a lot like Adventure Time.
Exactly.
Like there's a lot of similar style jokes and pacing and characters. So it almost just, like if you like Adventure Time, you'll probably really like this.
Yeah.
So I guess how does it start, Larry? You start us off.
Well, the styling of the first couple pages is I love looking at the Boy Scouts manuals and like field guide manuals, like how to repair your car manuals from like, maybe like the late 60s or something. They have a look to them. There's an illustration, and there's an illustrated, first couple pages of this is the illustrated guide to being a lumberjane, or the lumberjane, field guide, field manual. Yeah. And so you get into that, and it's cute because you can see that somebody's doctored it a little bit especially when she, so this one doesn't have a name as to who it belongs to, but, they've changed the name, from, I wish I could, read this. It's not very big on my screen, but they've changed the name instead of for the camp for, young ladies.
It's really weird words too.
The camp for young ladies, they've changed it to hardcore lady types.
Yeah. But it's like Miss Prissy's something, it's in like a cursive. I can't quite make it out either.
Yeah,
Sorry, you guys gotta read it yourself.
Miss Kinwall's Thristencrat Pennygwell Thristle Crumberbets.
Yeah.
Camp 4, and then over the top of that it says hardcore lady types. It's cute. Yeah. It's adorable. It is. And then so there's a precursor into it, a little bit of text to read into what it means to be a lumberjane.
Be a lady. Yeah.
And so first of all, we should probably also say that this is written by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis. It's illustrated by Brooke Allen, with colors by Morato Leho, and letters by Abri Aze. Aze?
Aze. Yeah, Aze. I don't know any better than you got.
So, we meet 5 of the Lady Janes. Or the Lady Janes, the Lumberjacks.
The other thing this kind of reminded me was, Teen Girl Squad from Strong Bad Email.
I don't know what that is.
It's alright. But it's like cause there's like it's a group of lady characters, kid ladies, girls, I guess you'd call them.
They're girls.
Kid ladies, So they're all in a cabin, they're all friends, they're all kind of distinct styles. One's like the Velma, and one's like the, likes karate chopping character. I don't really know what kind of categories to put these kids into.
They are in their own categories, but you're right. They're all friends, all in the same cabin. They all have their distinct styles. One wears a red cape, almost like a Little Red Riding Hood. One wears a coonskin hat.
Yeah.
One's got a cool punk rock haircut, flannel shirt. And then there's the tough girl. And
tough girl. That's a good way to put it.
The punk rocker isn't the tough girl. There's another gal who's even tougher. And the girls are...
And I can't remember their names, but it'll pop up as I read along.
So there's Joe, there's Lily, and April, and Molly, I think. And there's another one, I forget. But the girls have snuck out. Well, we don't know this yet, but we meet them in the middle of the woods. It's very dark. There's scary animals around. And these animals attack the girls.
So it's cool because it's scary, but it's still like comical. Like you're not afraid at all. Like it's the kind of comic where you're not even worried that they're not going to win.
Right. When you see them punching wolves, like
punching wolves,
punching
like cow, and then they all run away, kind of.
Yeah. So they're punching three-eyed wolves with big snaggle teeth.
And when he punches it, one of them turns into like some coin or gold trinket of some kind.
Mystery.
Like it's a video game of some, like you kill the bad guy, you get a coin.
Right. I thought that same thing actually. And there's a Ripley. Ripley is the girl who wears a coonskin hat. No, she's the one who she is the one who has the headband. Okay, that's how you. And then it's so much fun. And so,
it kind of Paper Girls. That's the one I was really trying to compare.
It's very, very reminiscent of Paper Girls. these girls aren't going to be smoking and they're not going to drop any F-bombs.